Hi, this is Priyanka Chopra and you're watching Channel Y.
The biggest South Asian media group, Y Media.
Y Media Group, established in 2001, is a media company with a 360-degree approach in reaching our audience over 5 platforms: television, radio, newspaper, online news portal, and mobile app.
Y Media has newspaper, midweek, radio, South Asian pop.
Hi, I'm Amitabh Bachchan and you're listening to South Asian Pulse.
Hi, this is Amir Khan and you're listening to South Asian Pulse.
All English 24/7 television network and Y Media Plus.
You are watching Channel Y. Channel Y.
Y Media Group's Ground Zero Report. From Parliament Hill to Queen's Park, to Y Media's studios.
Prime Minister, welcome. It's a pleasure to be here. It's a pleasure to be back.
Y Media is the official media partner for TIFF. Is an exclusive show all about the Toronto International Auto Show.
So Cam's going to tell us more about the amazing vehicle.
Hi, this is Yalla Kampal with Y Media. Today we are here at the 2023 Canadian International Auto Show. We're going to
Hi, I'm Ria Khan, and on behalf of Y Media, welcome to Channel Y.
Y Media Group welcomes you to Channel Y once again.
Host Ramona Singh, and it's always great to start the show with you.
Hi everybody, this is Yalla Kampal with Y Media. Today
Channel Y के entertainment special में जहाँ
Hello, Sat Shri Akal, Namaste and Adab. This is Kripa Anand and you're watching us on Channel Y.
Everyone, this is Pragya Devan and you're watching me on Y Media.
This is Vinay Sharma. I'll report you from Chandigarh, Channel Y.
Online, SouthAsianDaily.com. The biggest South Asian media group, Y Media.
Hello everyone, my name is Yudhir Jaswal. I'm the group editor at Y Media. And as we start the year 2024, I'm sure there are many challenges that the Canadians are facing today, including inflation. That's number one issue. Of course, affordability has been a concern, but other than that, there are many other challenges, whether it's the foreign policy, whether it's domestic policies, where is our infrastructure standing, or what do we see in the budget this year. And to discuss many of these, we have GARNETT GENUIS. He's a very senior member of the Conservative Party. He's a member of Parliament as well, and also member of the Shadow Cabinet. And I'm sure in case we see the poll numbers, the Conservatives are leading. In case they form the government, I'm sure he'll have a very important role to play. So what are the Conservatives doing today? GARNETT, a very warm welcome on Y Media.
Thank you for that very kind introduction. It's great to be with you and with all your viewers today.
Thank you so much, sir. And if I can start with this thing, the number one issue, as we all know, is affordability. As much as there are many Canadians who see the Liberal Party and that they're facing the challenges, but they want to ask, what will Conservative Party do in affordability, first of all, if you form the government?
Yeah, thank you for that important question. So after 8 years of NDP Liberal government, NDP Liberal policies, it's not working. What they're doing is not working. housing's more expensive, food is more expensive, and so many people are struggling under the pressure of this reality. Now, with the conservative alternative that we're offering, and I think people can see how our leader Pierre Poilievre has been principled and consistent, going back, in fact, identifying the problem of inflation before many others were talking about it. In fact, at the time, the finance minister saying, "Oh, we're going to have deflation," and Pierre had a lot of foresight in really identifying what was going to happen and why it was going to happen. And what he highlighted was that government massive overspending has been driving inflation. More money being spent, chasing fewer goods. Debt has more than doubled over the last 8 years under this NDP Liberal government, and that's driving up inflation, driving up costs. So what are we going to do about it? We are going to introduce a dollar for dollar rule so that every new dollar of government spending, you have to find a dollar to reallocate that from. So the money has to come from somewhere. And with the incredible waste we're seeing on outside consultants and other areas of incredible waste under this government. It's a simple matter of saying if you want to spend more money, it has to come from somewhere. That's one piece of it. We're going to axe the carbon tax. The carbon tax is driving up costs, compounding on each other, because the carbon tax, it hits the farmer who grows the food, the trucker who brings the food, the grocer who sells the food, and the family who comes to get the food. So there's this compounding effect of the carbon tax on consumers. So we're going to institute the dollar for dollar rule. We're going to axe the tax. And particularly here, one area that's top of mind when it comes to affordability is the gross housing cost inflation that people have seen. So we have articulated a clear plan for removing gatekeepers, removing those barriers that are preventing home construction from happening. We're not building enough homes. We're building fewer homes today than we did in the 1970s. So we need a plan to get housing built. And in terms of our plan, in terms of the positive alternative we're offering, I think the new technology we have today provides your viewers a great opportunity to hear directly from our leader. He released a documentary called Housing Hell that really explains what went wrong and what we're going to do about it. So there's now more opportunity than ever for people to go to his social media channels and that of other conservatives and understand what we're specifically proposing to fix the affordability crisis that has been created through 8 years of bad policy.
Yeah. As much as the carbon tax, you highlighted that area, spending, and you also highlighted, we have to bring in more money. Okay, can you give me some more specifics on all these points?
Sure. Yeah. So I mean, I can drill down on any one of them, I suppose, just maybe working backwards. So on the housing issue, the proposal to remove gatekeepers is to set clear, specific requirements and targets for municipalities. Now, we're not going to tell them where you have to build or what exactly you have to build, but there has to be a plan for each municipality to make appropriate proportionate increases in the amount of housing that they're building, and tie that to federal infrastructure dollars. So municipalities that are not hitting their targets will not get federal infrastructure dollars. And when municipalities exceed their targets, they will get bonuses. Now, what we're seeing in many municipalities is the erection of unnecessary barriers that are delaying home construction or preventing it outright. And you have cases where federal infrastructure dollars going into infrastructure like transit are theoretically supposed to catalyze more housing, and yet housing isn't being built. We should be building housing around and on top of new transit stations. And when the money is coming from the federal government to municipalities, we can insist on that. So the housing affordability crisis driven by a lack of supply, it involves multiple levels of government, but we need federal leadership saying to every other level of government, when there are federal dollars, we insist that you meet the required targets for new home construction. That's going to make sure there's housing available and help control the costs so that all people, in particular young people, can actually afford to own homes again. Again, on the carbon tax, our policy is simple: axe the tax. The Liberals have tried to play this game of temporary regional exemptions that is grossly unfair to people here in Southern Ontario, of course. But moreover, they have a plan to increase the carbon tax. They're going to be quadrupling the carbon tax over time, which is going to just exacerbate the affordability challenges that we face. Again, our policy is simple: axe the tax. And look, the dollar for dollar rule, it's a policy that applies to government in general, so that in any area of government, if you are going to propose a new dollar of spending, you have to know where it's going to come from. And so many decisions around spending are made now by the government with no concept of where it's going to come from. And this isn't how any of us would manage our own lives. We wouldn't say, okay, I'm going to, I'm going to buy a new car today. Well, okay, where's the money going to come from, right? That's the question my wife would ask me if I came home with a new idea on how to spend money. And sometimes I think at the level of government, people think that the rules of reality no longer apply to them, but they do. We have spent more money than we have for too long. We're in a situation now where we're going to be spending more this year on debt servicing than the federal government transfers for healthcare. Isn't that incredible? We're spending more on servicing the debt, so interest and other related costs there, than we're transferring in healthcare.
Yeah, good. Quickly moving on to the next point, foreign interference has been an issue. Let's dial this a little bit backwards because, Canada and US, they both had challenges with India, both alleged foreign interference, but they were dealt very differently. Mm-hmm. The US administration, they did keep the relationships intact. It was the Department of Justice which brought out the issue for US. In Canada, the Canadian Prime Minister goes into the Parliament on 18 September and he announces that this is what the issue is. So whereas India and US, they're still having the 2+2 dialogue. I just listened to the US Secretary of State Anthony Blinken at the World Economic Forum. He wasn't visiting India. He's still praising Modi, Indian government, their still relationships are good. And here, no trade missions, nothing. The trade talks with UK haven't gotten us anywhere. And now the relationship with India, please. Yeah. So you mentioned a few different issues there. I think on the foreign interference issue in general, what's clear over the last 8 years of Liberal government is that we have this dramatic emergent problem of foreign interference from multiple different actors in Canada, and as much as the government has, in certain select cases, talked about it or wanted to talk about it, they have not taken effective action to actually combat foreign interference. What I think Canadians expect of the government, if they're sending these signals on concern about foreign interference, is that they actually put in place policies to prevent foreign interference, to make it impossible for any state that wants to interfere in Canadian affairs to do so. And we have, over the last 8 years, under the NDP Liberal government, not done that. So it's one of these cases, I think, where they want to send the right signals, but there's a lack of action. So there's a Conservative private member's bill from Senator Leo Hosakos on having a foreign influence registry here in Canada, and we've put that bill forward. The government doesn't have to draft the bill themselves. They can simply adopt the Conservative bill that we've put forward. And that is a bill that would protect Canada. It would protect us from any instance of foreign interference. So, I think the specific allegations in specific cases, they need to be thoroughly and properly investigated, and there needs to be appropriate accountability. But at the political level, my challenge back to the government is, okay, what have you done? What have you actually done to protect our country from these foreign interference threats? Okay. I know there has been allegations regarding China. Your own previous leader, Aaron O'Toole, has spoken about that. I want to ask now, India has also been included in this one. So I want to specifically ask, were there any cases from the Conservative Party or Liberal even for that matter, or NDP, if you know, that we've seen India, because China specifically, your leader spoke about that, and he said CC's informed him, but are there any cases from India on the Conservative Party? And there was a slight hint that India could have interfered in the Conservative Party's leadership race as well.
Well, look, I can't speak to, authoritatively to where there were attempts. But I can say that for our party, we have very strong checks and balances to protect our process from being interfered with. Okay. So I think the question is less, were there attempts? It's hard to know. There may have been attempts from a lot of quarters, but did we have a robust process that was protected from successful interference? And I think we did. We have a very strong, very effective process in terms of internal party matters, much stronger, much more robust than the other parties have, and so I think this investigation that is going to happen, this inquiry is an important process. Although there's some delays and other problems so hopefully it will reveal useful information. But the bottom line is Canada has to protect itself from foreign interference. There's always going to be people attempting to interfere, but we have to protect ourselves from that interference. Our party has done that. The government of Canada has been, I think, has failed to do that sufficiently, and that's why we need measures like Conservative Senator Leo Housakos' bill and other measures to protect our country.
One last question on foreign interference. The sticky point between India and Canada. We're natural allies to big democracies, to liberal democracies, but their concern is that Canada has been too soft on people who are trying to break up India. Of course, freedom of speech is fine, and in India, there is a member of parliament who openly stands on only one issue, the issue of separatism. So he can talk about that, and he's been elected as MP. Yeah. But they're saying, yes, some of them, they go, this is an allegation from India, some of them, they go too far, and they say they incite violence in India. So where does Canada stand on this one? That's what they're asking.
Yeah, look, I think the Canadian position on these things is clear. Our position is clear, that we support freedom of speech for Canadians, and we do not support violence or incitement to violence. And that should be a clear line. And if there are instances where there is evidence of incitement to violence, then that evidence should be brought to the appropriate authorities here in Canada. But we should not conflate political beliefs about state arrangements and so forth as being the same as incitement to violence. So we have freedom of speech in Canada, which does not include incitement to violence or violence. And it's important for those that say there's evidence of this happening to bring forward that evidence and bring it to the proper authorities.
If I can quickly squeeze in two questions regarding crime.
Yes.
One is that regarding internet content, that you're also working on that.
Yes.
Tell us about that, and then we'll wrap up.
Yeah, great. So one of the main things I'm doing this weekend while I'm in Toronto is promoting a private member's bill. It is being sponsored in the House of Commons by Conservative MP Karen Vecchio. It's originally from the Senate. Senator Duchesne put it forward. It's Bill S210. This bill would protect children from abuse in the form of exposure to sexual content online by imposing mandatory age verification. This is a problem that's not, I think, being discussed enough, but it's a huge problem. That young children, in particular young boys, are accessing violent, degrading sexual content online. Some of the statistics suggest that the average age when people start viewing this material is as young as 11. And this is wiring and shaping the brains and the expectations of young boys. It's leading to more violence against women, sometimes children offending against children in a violent sexual way. So it's a big and growing problem. And the solution in Bill S210 is to require mandatory age verification. Again, very simple, that if you're accessing gambling, alcohol, tobacco products online, you've got to prove that you're of age, because these are things we understand to be not appropriate for children. And the same should apply for pornographic content, that you should have the same kinds of mechanisms for meaningful age verification. Now, this bill passed unanimously in the Senate, and it passed second reading in the House, but it was opposed by most Liberals. So you had Conservatives, Bloc, and NDP coming together to support this bill, but most Liberals, including the Liberal cabinet, opposing this bill. So I think it's important for your viewers to know about this, this critical issue. This is a bill that will help us protect children from early exposure to violent, degrading sexual material online. And if this bill passes, it will also help to protect other victims of violence, people that may be responding and acting out, imitating things that they see online. So I'm hopeful this bill will pass and that people, Liberal MPs, will hear from their constituents about the need to change their position and support Bill S-210.
Just in the last minute or so, if you could also talk about the crime has been on the rise. The community is very concerned, car thefts, violent crimes, break-ins, etc.
Yes. So the rate of violent crime was dropping when Stephen Harper was Prime Minister, and it started to go up quite significantly when the Liberals took office. And there were specific legislative changes that they made that have contributed to the increase in crime. A big area is in the area of bail. So if somebody is a repeat violent offender, it does not make sense for them to be sort of routinely, regularly released on bail to go out and continue committing crimes. We have instances where people commit a crime in the morning, they're released on bail, they commit a crime in the afternoon, they're arrested again, they're released on bail again, and it just keeps on going. We have, at the extreme end, a small number of people committing a very large number of crimes. So our proposal is to reverse the Liberal changes to the bail system and to ensure there is jail, not bail, for repeat violent offenders. That's not going to solve the whole problem, but it will go a long way to reversing the spike in violent crime that we've seen since Liberals took office.
Garnett, I wish we had more time, but thank you so much for your time today.
Thank you for the opportunity, and I'll be back to talk more.
Sure, it's a pleasure talking to you, and thank you for covering all those issues.
My pleasure.
Yeah, I hope you enjoyed today's discussion, and we will be carrying on this discussion later on with Garnett. Keeps watching Channel Y. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi, this is Priyanka Chopra, and you're watching Channel Y.
The biggest South Asian media group, Y Media.
Y Media Group, established in 2001, is a media company with a 360-degree approach in reaching our audience over 5 platforms: television, radio, newspaper, online news portal, and mobile app.
Y Media has newspaper, midweek, radio, South Asian Pulse.
Hi, I'm Amitabh Bachchan, and you're listening to South Asian Pulse.
Hi, this is Amir Khan, and you're listening to South Asian Pulse.
All English 24/7 television network and Y Media Plus.
You are watching Channel Y. Channel Y.
Y Media Group's Ground Zero Report. From Parliament Hill to Queen's Park, to Y Media's studios.
Prime Minister, welcome. It's a pleasure to be here. It's a pleasure to be back.
Y Media is the official media partner for TIFF.
exclusive show all about the Toronto International Auto Show.
So Cam's going to tell us more about the amazing vehicle.
Hi, this is Yalla Kanpal with Y Media. Today we are here at the 2023 Canadian International Auto Show. We're going to
Hi, I'm Ria Khan, and on behalf of Y Media, welcome to Channel Y.
Y Media Group welcomes you to Channel Y once again.
Host Ramona Singh, and it's always great to start the show with you.
Hi everybody, this is Yalla Kanpal with Y Media. Today
चैनल Y के एंटरटेनमेंट स्पेशल में जहां
Hello, Sat Shri Akal, Namaste and Adab. This is Kripa Anand and you're watching us on Channel Y.
Everyone, this is Pragya Devan and you're watching me on Y Media.
This is Vinay Sharma, reporting from Chandigarh, Channel Y.
Online, SouthAsianDaily.com, the biggest South Asian media group, Y Media.